Good morning, Wildcats. I'm Olivia Bontempo, and you're watching WCAT's Weekly News. As we wrap up our second week of school, we hope everyone is getting settled in. As Mrs. Trask announced in her most recent letter, we will be continuing the green and white model through Labor Day. The letter emphasized the importance of social distancing, and to help with that, signs have been posted around campus since the first day of school.
Do you need some direction in your life? Follow the one-way stairwells. We interviewed some teachers and students to get their opinions on the new flow of traffic in the buildings.
So you have seen that there are a lot of signs on the floor and on the walls, and then going down the stairs and up the stairs. So we need everybody really to follow those. Some students, it's kind of getting used to that. We still have room for improvement on how to, on following those directions. But the one thing that I think that we need to do a little bit better is about social distancing. So being 6 feet apart is key. I know we all know that it's not in your nature as far as students to kind of be apart and you like to socialize, but that's very important kind of for all of us to be safe, respect that, and then and follow it for us to be kind of back together all here.
I have noticed that the stairwells are one way, and I've usually been following it, but sometimes I'll accidentally go to the wrong one. And I think that it's really helpful to maintain social distancing because stairwells are kind of close quarters.
Thanks, Wildcats. Remember to follow your arrow wherever they point.
We hope everyone pays special attention to these signs posted around campus. In other news, athletics sure are starting to ramp back up. Here's WCAT's James Carr with more on sports.
Thanks, Olivia. With Wildcat Athletics kicking off last week, athletes have been busy all over campus. The Westminster volleyball team had their second game of the season this past Monday at home against North Atlanta. They won in 3 straight sets to beat the Warriors and are looking forward to the rest of their season.
The team's looking strong this year. We have some good underclassmen role players, and we also have Elena back from an ACL tear, which is really exciting. So the Cats are looking good for the next 2 games.
The Westminster softball team kicked off their season with their first game at home this past Monday against Sandy Creek. They won with a score of 3-2 to beat the Patriots, and their second game was supposed to be this past Wednesday at home against Lovett for the Battle of Buckhead. However, due to rain, the game was postponed with details to come. The Batcats' next game is going to be next Monday against Wesleyan at Wesleyan.
Yeah, I think this is like a really special senior class just because we're all so close, and we all just definitely want to make the most of every opportunity we get to play because we know we're really grateful to just be playing at this point. Because of our limited schedule, I think we're all just really happy to get to play our rivals Lovett, and I'm really proud of the team, so hopefully you guys will come out to watch us next Tuesday against GAC.
The varsity boys cross-country team has already been hard at work this season, with 3 inter-squad meets including a time trial under their belts. They've done a great job adjusting to a new home course and adjusting to a very different season.
Who are y'all's top runners coming into this year?
Okay, so our top runners this year, someone who's really actually pushed up this year is Jack Ramsey. He started the season with around an 18:30 on the new course, which is something very special, especially with the new course being harder than the last one.
Their next meet is going to be on September 5th, so be sure to tune in and watch the Cats. Now let's go over to Misha Iyer, who's got more information on the girls cross-country team.
The girls cross-country team has always had a large group of girls. They've had to undergo many precautions and make many adjustments regarding COVID-19. I interviewed Eleanor Carroll and Sally James, captains of the girls cross-country team, to find out what the girls are doing to stay safe.
So I think cross-country has actually handled it really well. We have to wear masks when we run, and we have new time groups of like 3 or 4 girls, so we stay spaced out during our runs.
And also during practice, like when we're sitting around and having a talk or team meeting or stretching, we make sure everyone does the windmill so they're 6 feet apart all times. So yeah, that's actually gone really well for us.
Hopefully with all of the precautions these girls are taking, the season will go on.
The varsity football team had their first official practice this past Monday and are looking forward to kicking off their season with their first game on September 25th against the Pace Knights. Well, that's all for sports. Thanks for tuning in, and now back to you in the studio.
Yeah, our first game is September 25th against Pace, and we're doing everything we can right now to stay out there, make sure everyone's staying safe and abiding by the guidelines. First, everyone's mandated to wear a mask under the helmet, or when we're not practicing, with your helmet off, keep the mask on as well. We're definitely trying to stay 6 feet plus apart whenever we're not running play actively during practice, and even if we're doing that, we're only doing that for momentary moments in time, only like 5-10 seconds. So I think we'll be fine. As well, we're gonna have hand sanitizing and bring our own waters.
I'm glad to finally see all of our athletic teams begin to practice again. From athletics to the classroom, Hawkins Hall and New Campbell have been broken in with the first couple weeks of classes. Here's WCAT's Sarah Lape with more on the beautiful new building.
As many of you know, this year is anything but ordinary. From the hybrid schedule to the brand new buildings around campus, there are a lot of things that we are still adjusting to. I decided to touch base with some students and faculty to get their opinions on the new buildings.
I've been utilizing the new space in Hawkins and Campbell mostly for lunch and doing work. My favorite area is probably this area around here. I have one class and advisement in Hawkins Hall.
I really like the vibe that it gives, and if we start doing this with more of the buildings, I would be very content.
I've been utilizing the space a lot by just hanging out in my free periods and studying and sitting at the new tables in front of all the windows. I have classes in Campbell, but not in Hawkins.
Well, I think that Hawkins and the new Campbell have benefited this campus tremendously. For one thing, there's just a lot of kind of productive hangout space for the students where they can study. But what I like most, I think, is the fact that it's open and airy and very light. And so I just want to throw a thank you out there to all the donors, to the people who worked on the buildings and designed them, and to the administration of the school for supporting this effort and getting it done so quickly.
We hope everybody has gotten a chance to check out the new buildings. They're truly a great addition to this campus. I'm Sarah Lape, now back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Sarah. It truly is an amazing new building. Inside of Hawkins Hall is the new Brewer Cafe, where students can eat a more grab-and-go style lunch. From wraps to salads to sandwiches, it sure does have some good options. Here's Elena Karras with more on the Brewer Cafe.
This year, students have been able to choose between eating lunch at our usual Malone Dining Hall and the new Brewer Cafe, located in Hawkins Hall. I spoke to a few students to get their opinions on this new lunch situation.
I've been getting my lunch at Brewer Cafe most days. I like that you get to kind of choose which salad, which sandwich, which drink you want. Yesterday we had a chicken sandwich with mozzarella and tomatoes, and it was really good.
I have gotten the majority of my lunches from Malone. I think really the reason why is because Hawkins is just really crowded with a bunch of people eating and grabbing lunches, and the Malone line doesn't seem to be too long most of the time. And the hot lunch I just feel to be a lot more filling.
So I just got back from Malone and I ate a nice taco. It was pretty good. And then I also got a sandwich from the Brewer Cafe. I like having the options of both places, and the sandwiches are good because they have a good variety each day and they're not just the same ham sandwiches that we always have.
I really like the cafe because it has a lot of options like sandwiches and chips if you don't want to go to Malone. I think they need to work on the seating a little bit because it's really hard, especially on today when it's raining, to find places to sit because a lot of it's based outside and there's limited space inside. So I think it's hard to find seats a lot of the time.
Thanks, Elena. We hope everyone has a chance to try out the new food in the Brewer Cafe. Now, here's a quick message from our co-chairs.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to your second week of online and in-person school. If you haven't heard already, we will be extending the green and white schedule until Labor Day. We know that you might have mixed feelings about this, but it's extremely important that you stay very positive right now, just to keep morale up so that we can enjoy the school year after.
It's also important to keep up with your school spirit. Start by virtually supporting the volleyball and softball teams in their games in these upcoming weeks. Anyways, I'll finish with an interesting fact of the day. Blue whales eat over 500,000 calories in one mouthful. See you next week.
Thanks, Jenna and Connor. We can't wait to see what you guys do in the next coming months. That's all for this week. I'm Olivia Bontempo. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week on WCAT's Weekly News.